Good morning, Amari.
Good morning. Good morning,
How are you?
everyone.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well. So, reminder,
Awesome.
you're on Pacific time. I'm on Cairo time. You're starting your day.
Yeah.
I'm uh, I'm kind of ending mine. Well, it's
That's
good.
awesome.
It's good to be here. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning. Good morning, Cheryl. Hello to you. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone who's joining. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Charm. Welcome, welcome. So maybe we'll give it a minute or two before we get started as people are
Yeah.
trickling in, joining in. Reminder that so we today, um, why are we here today? If you are Amari in your own words.
Yes. So I was just about to put that in our chat and pin it. But we're here today to discuss the concept of holding pain and
Mhm.
what pain means and how we interpret pain through our mind, our emotions, our body, and how we can begin to release that pain as well.
Mhm. And to as much as possible, we'll try to speak from personal experience. I mean, in a few moments, we'll provide a little bit more information about both Amari and myself in terms of our professional experience. But as a reminder to myself and to you, I think we might as well speak from personal experience, what helped us with our own challenges, our own experiences, instead of talking about concepts and people and in general. I'd love to get a little bit more personal here, if that's all right with you.
That's totally fine with me. Excited to be here. Excited to have this talk circle.
All right. So, would you like to pin the? Did you get a chance already to pin
Oh
that?
yeah, I'll go ahead and do that right now so we can get
All
started.
right. And so, for those of you who are joining us now, whether it's a good morning or a good evening to you, depending on which time zone you're on, reminder that today we'll be in conversation. Amari, Dior, and myself, Pierre-Etienne Vannier, um, around the concept of holding pain. Right. And initially, I think we're going to talk about dealing with pain or managing pain, and then we're like, let's go. I know for me, holding pain just makes me more resonate because I feel like, that's a better description of what my experience and what my healing has been. Um, but I guess we can go there in due time.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's get
All right.
started.
So if before we get started, I like again to remind people before we discuss the concept of holding pain and the experience of holding pain. What does it mean mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually? Um, can we take a couple of breaths all together, right? Just as an invitation, whether you're getting your day started or you're ending your day. Instead of getting lost in our heads, in our minds, I'm inviting you to take a gentle moment to reconnect to your body. Second, nice, slow, deep breath in. And let's take a third, nice, slow, deep breath in. On the third exhale, let's exhale with the sound. So let's take a nice, slow, deep breath in. And for those of you who know me, you might know that that's how I start a lot of my circles. And I think that's primarily for myself. So before we get into the concept of holding pain, could we take just a few moments, Mary, to could you who you are, why we here?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Amari. I am owner of and I am a chronic pain coach. I'm a life coach for people who have had chronic pain and who have chronic pain. And the the my biggest mission is to be able to help people who have had chronic pain, because I have had chronic pain myself, adopt healthy habits, holistic habits, and pain management skills that will help them better their life and realign their lives with the things that matter, the things that they're passionate about. That's
Mm. Thank you for sharing that. I resonate with a lot of that. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a mind body practitioner, which means that I teach mind body practices for nervous system regulation, uh, which is a big word to really say come back into alignment with my experience, with my body, with my soul, with my spirit, with my nervous system, depending on which level we're at and we're stuck at. Um, and I've been on this journey for many years. And so I'm excited today to discuss that concept that is important for me. And I know that's important for you too, because this is your life and this is your practice. Um, and so hello to Kamal, salam, hello to All Day Nene. Thank you for being here. Um, shall we start here with what is pain before we get into like what to do with it? Um, and I want to apologize for the sound. Like this is I'm in Cairo, Egypt. This is a busy city with 35 million people, so you're bound to hear somebody make some noise. Um, how do you see? How would you? And I'm not asking for technical definition. I'm just
right.
wondering as to like how do you see pain? What is pain for you?
Pain for me. Wow, my pain has so many different levels and layers to it. And
Hmm.
just from my own personal journey, um, I've had pain before just from a sports injury, and I was able to recover from that fully. But then there was another layer of pain that I experienced 4 years ago, in an accident that caused me more than just physical pain, but I began to suffer because I wasn't able to recover. I began to suffer mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And because of the Western medicine, there's a lot of times when we are treated just based on the body part, based on this little part. And I kept feeling like, oh, I'm partially relieving pain, but there's still so much going on. There's still so much of my life that has been affected by this physical pain.
Hmm.
So to me, pain is more than just what we experience physically in the body. I now understand from my own experiences that uh, pain can reside in your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, and it can also affect your spirituality depending on how strong that is, and what stage in growth you are in personally.
Ooh, all right. Let's get right into it. Right, let's get right into it. Thank you for the reminder of the many layers here, because I I know I certainly got frustrated both in my own personal healing, and in my journey of of personal growth, um, of having a limited view of what pain is, and oftentimes, yeah, oh, pain equals, oh, that was my back pain because of that accident that I went through, and blah blah blah. Um, but when I both had to heal my own pain, or as I'm working to heal my pain, because I feel like that's a that's a lifelong journey. Um, I'm also reminded that, like you said, this is, I think that that distinction and that separation of the mind and the body is such a constricting way. It's such a limited way, uh, you know, to for us to approach healing. Because if I'm focusing on, well, have back issues and all my focus is going to be on my back, And I'm speaking for myself, I think I'm missing the message of the pain, right? And so back to the first question, which was, what is pain? I see pain, in addition to this multi-layered concept or experience. For me, there's also it's a powerful messenger. It's a powerful messenger, and as frustrating as it may be, in my own experience, what a powerful opportunity for growth and learning and taking a step back. Because I know when my back used to hurt and I would be paralyzed on the floor, unable to move, my body was telling me, we're done here. We're done walking around. We're done running around. We're done pretending that we're okay, or pushing through. And it was really my ego that wanted to, think that I was either okay or fully recovered or this or this or that, or not tired enough to stop, whatever I was thinking. And I think with time and with practice, because I've been working with for almost a decade, it's been 16 years. It's been 17 years of working with people living with HIV, AIDS, 8 years, almost a decade, working with people with cancer. And the more I think about pain, the more I somehow have a sense of, I'm working to have a sense of gratitude, I think, for that messenger that is telling me things could be different and things could be better. And right now there's a need for alignments. There's a need for adjustments. Am I making sense?
That really resonates with me. Yes, definitely. Definitely. And I like that you explained it in the way where we can find power in what we feel is a weakness at the time. But it's really just an opportunity to have that growth and really make ourselves better, not just sweeping things under the rug, but really focusing on how we can be better to ourselves and give grace to ourselves.
Amen. And thank you for saying that, because what comes up for me as I hear your words is like, really, what is my relationship to myself? And I've been discussing that with some friends and colleagues and brothers of mine lately around like my own relationship and my own capacity or lack thereof, to love myself and to love my body and to love this messenger that is telling me, no, I'm done with you. And I'm speaking to myself, no, I'm done with you mistreating me, like pretending that you can run for that long, that you can punch that hard, that you can do all these things that are actually, if they were being done in a way that's regulated and gentle and reasonable, would be healthy. But for me, there was most certainly an abuse of myself. And I recognize that. And I'm feeling it, at the bottom of my stomach as I'm saying it, because it is a lifelong journey. And yet, what I heard a few years ago from Scott Sandland, a mentor of mine, an early mentor of mine, when I moved to the US 10 years ago, he said, if only pain could arrive earlier in some cases. And because I was, working with cancer patients, working with people dealing with issues. And I remember at that time, I was like, what do you mean? Like, you think people should be more in pain? And his point was, well, if we could get the cues earlier, if we're more connected to the body, right?
Right.
So I'm just going to pause here. I'm going to take a breath. I'm seeing Cheryl here mentioning what is my relationship with myself. Powerful statement and thought-provoking. Yeah, what is my relationship to myself, right? Am I able to love myself? Am I abusing myself? And we are talking about the body, but we're really talking about myself.
Right.
I don't know if that brings any other questions, comments. Again, taking a step back here, Amari, before I hand it back to you. I'm in conversation today with Amari, Dior, with the pain management coach, life coach, based in LA, California, and myself, Pierre-Etienne, here based in Cairo, Egypt, mind-body practitioner specialized in nervous system regulation. And today we're talking about holding pain, which led us to that conversation around what is my relationship to myself and how do I hear that message. So may I ask you, what did you do when you heard that message that there was pain?
Yeah. So when you mentioned your earlier mentor, that he wishes that sometimes we had that signal of pain sooner, I really resonated with that, because when my pain came along, I was in a place where I was really overworked and unstable, but still unstable. Like, I felt like I was clawing at life and trying to make all of these goals happen and please all of these different people. And I felt constantly, no matter how much overwork, I was falling short. And this type of stress and this self-talk and not being able to rest, and also finding comfort and comfort foods that were really not good for me, that really weren't making my gut health comfortable, or actually giving me the energy that I needed to be able to do all of these things, working 50 hours a week, but also doing full-time in school, and then another part-time job. And then I'm a child of 8. So I have all of these family members that I love, and they're my whole life. So stretched very thin. And what I was telling myself at the time was, you're young, you can figure it out. You shouldn't. And I was using the should words, which I find is not right. I feel like the should, that word, when we use it, I attack myself when I use, I shouldn't be feeling this pain. I shouldn't be exhausted. I shouldn't, this shouldn't be the outcome for me, and all these things. It's not giving myself grace. And it's not recognizing the ability that I have, and it's ignoring all the greatness that I have, which in turn lowers the self-esteem, lowers the self-efficacy, lowers the self-worth and value. And then I would become more detached from my values and more detached from being aligned with the things I was passionate about. And instead I was just working, ignoring the pain, thinking that the pain wasn't that big of a deal. And I also was laid out on the bathroom floor for 40 minutes, not able to move my legs, crying. And then once my legs would come back to function, I would get up and go clean the house, or like do something like it didn't even happen. So yeah, I really resonate with that, because I wish I would have paid attention to cues, because our mind and body, our spirit, they will tell us when something's wrong. It's just a matter of being in tune enough to pay attention. And when we don't pay attention, there's buildup, and things prolong, and they even get more intense.
Thank you for the reminder, which, before we go a little deeper into that concept of or that practice, shall I say, of holding pain, as far as I'm concerned, it does start, like Old Nene mentioned, the truth in understanding our own signals. Am I listening to myself? And there's a lot behind that statement, right? Am I not just listening to my thoughts and my emotions, but also my body? And, so number one, being able to be connected to myself. the more I'm stressed out, the more I'm overwhelmed, the least I will be aware of what's going on inside. You were talking about, you know, I heard what you were talking about in terms of that disconnection from who I am, right? That misalignment, that most certainly for me, I was drifting away from the core of who I was, right? And I was becoming, you know, somebody who was like frustrated and like misaligned and snappy and this and this and that, and trying to pretend that, like, you know, I can do it and I can be whatever I thought I should be, right? Should again. And so starting with an embodied awareness, in the words of another mentor of mine, Mrs. Nkem Defoe from Lumos Transforms, who keeps on, you know, reminding me so often of the importance of that embodied awareness, right? Am I listening to myself, number one? And number two, what do I do with what I hear? Because oftentimes I didn't want to listen because once I heard what it was said, I was like, I don't agree with that, right? I don't agree that I need to rest. I don't agree that I need to slow down. I don't agree that I need to, and so on and so forth, even though I knew that's what it was. And that's today, to get into the idea of holding pain. And the reason why I feel like that practice of holding pain is so crucial is because I and so many people I'm working with oftentimes are being conditioned, I don't know if it's by society, by family, by culture, that we got to stay positive and and hey, everything's going to be okay and you're good right now, and stay positive. And I have some beef with that, because that's our a whole range of emotions and experiences that are human as well. And I've seen, both for myself and with the people, for the people I'm working with, the magic that happens once we take a moment to just hold that pain. And I'm talking about physical pain, I'm talking about emotional pain, about sadness, about anger, about something that in our whole, right, being, like, I'm not talking about just physical pain, our whole being is saying, hey, can we feel that? Can we talk about that? Can we sense into that? Because there's a misalignment here. There's something that's not in line with who we are and who we want to be. And so I get frustrated when I hear people, you know, who arrive to the groups and we kind of like, okay, you know, I'm in like my, like, you know, third or fourth week round of chemo, and this and that happen, and there's so much in their life happening, and it's okay. And then, you know, I'm staying positive. And when I humbly give them, or remind them to give themselves permission to just feel that, hey, it's okay to feel angry or sad or in pain for a few moments. That's just amazing how then oftentimes the body responds. How the body will, there's going to be some tears, there's going to be some changes in the breath, there's going to be some slight tremors, right? There's going to be a response of the body saying, thank you for getting out of the way. I got this, right? I'm designed to heal. And I know you're scared, right? But please trust me, right? And for me, it was just working to reclaim that trust in self, that was so difficult and that took time, right? So right. I stopped ranting, just wondering what that brings up for you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And it definitely, that's when I began to recognize how physical pain was affecting me more in every way of my life and every part of my being. It was hard for me to deal with. And I did cry about it, had a lot of cries about it, you know? But also when I decided to let go of should, and when I decided, you know what, this has happened, it was a sense of radical acceptance of my experience, where this has happened, it's no one's fault, no one I need to blame, because I was pointing the finger a lot. It's like, it's because of this situation. If that wall never fell on me, I would be fine. But no, you're right. I had gotten steered away from my true self and what I was meant to do and what God called me to do and how I should be acting towards myself. And a lesson that I learned recently, I know this isn't a spiritual platform, but a lesson that I learned recently was that we have the testament to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And then later on, God tells us, no, I want you to love others as I love you. And I was in church with my mom this past Sunday, and the pastor really made us dig deep into just that one sentence, you know? And it was the fact that we realize that we don't always give ourselves love. We don't always love ourselves fully. There's a lot of up and down in the way that we are able to love ourselves, let alone others. So if we can understand that and understand that when I am feeling pain, when I am neglecting myself, when I'm neglecting the healing that needs to be happening and the realignment, like you mentioned, that needs to happen, I am not loving myself. So coming to terms with that was hard for me, and I get it, because I worked for years. I went to school to become a physical therapist, and I worked in a physical therapy clinic as an assistant. And I worked with so many people that they were in pain, but they would walk in and they say, I'm just going to be positive about it. But then I would take their intake and they had all of these flare-ups the whole week. And I'm like, how can, and at the time, this was at the same time that I was taking my radical acceptance, and where I found that, I should be go and get study for a health coach and life coach certification and really learn how to speak to people, because it isn't healthy to just ignore your feelings, ignore my feelings, let alone the patients that I was working with who were coming in because they had chronic pain. And just by being able to talk about their flare-ups, what caused their flare-ups and how they felt about it, and plan for the next week and how they can make the next week better, that itself opened the door to, okay, I didn't really just feel positive all week. Like, this whole pain thing is not a positive experience, by asking those questions and asking myself those questions and being able to find, okay, I need to start adopting new tools for myself. Yeah.
I just want to thank you because this platform is on healing, and as far as I'm concerned, I think this connection from spirit, from God, from Jesus, from Allah, from whoever, whatever's your belief, I think is a huge piece of that alignment. And I'm not the only one to say it. When you look into research, people with faith just recover faster. And I speak I speak painfully from personal experience when, I come from, from a family where there's like health issues, and the idea that, this is just a mechanical process that's went wrong that needs appeal, and I get really frustrated with that. But I guess that's a reminder for me also, when I engage with my own pain, the question that I'm often and thankfully reminded by some of my brothers who were on that path with me of healing is like, do you have absolute faith? Like, do you have faith? Like that there's a reason why you're going through what you're going through. And I know sometimes when people ask me that, I felt like punching them in the face. I was like, shut up. Like, this is not what I want to hear right now. I need that practice that's just going to make the pain go away. And yet, in hindsight, having worked with both my pain and the pain of so many people, and then so many people coming to me, some of the most challenging statements I've heard in the past. And especially I remember about 15 years ago, the very first time I heard it, somebody said to me, you know, HIV, AIDS is the best thing that ever happened to me. And I was like, whoa, let me take a moment to pause here, because I don't understand. And it took me time. It took me time to understand that that person's acceptance and faith was absolute. That person was much happier than so many people who have everything, right? Except that they're so worried about everything that you know, they're just, their life is a nightmare. And that person who was facing real health challenges was a truly inspiring person who was not faking it, who was really engaging with her faith and her experience. And so for me here, and I know we said we're going to try to keep it relatively short today. So it's a reminder to myself, to you, to all the viewers, that holding that pain in itself is healing. That when we move away from the pain, when we try to push things away, this is called denial. This is not called positive thinking. Right? It's called denial. And guess what? At least for me, it backfired. It backfired. The moments, because it's not an event, it's a process, but the moments when I started to say, this is what's happening, let me take a pause, let me check it with myself, let me feel into what's happening, let me hold that pain for a few moments. This is, for me, that was absolutely amazing to, again, be reminded that I don't need to know in my mind how to do it, because my body knows how to handle it. And so from the moment I started to get out of my head, get out of the way, this is when I started to empower my own body, my own nervous system to heal, right? And so holding that pain, I think, is probably, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most difficult, yet one of the most powerful practice on that path of healing, whatever one needs to heal.
I love that. I love that explanation. I totally agree. And it totally relates to that turning point in my healing journey. When I went from a chronic pain journey to a healing journey was exactly when I began to recognize that pain and not sweep it under the rug and slow down and hold it.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
So any we promised each other that we would keep this this life short. We've talked about, right, making it a are we making this a weekly, right? Let's make it a weekly. Let's have this conversation on a weekly basis. And so this is an invitation, like, to all the viewers here, whether you're joining us live or watching this replay. Feel free to send us questions, remarks, comments, anything that you'd like for us to discuss. Right, within the realm of self-healing, of pain, of managing / healing pain. I know I've had a conversation with some colleagues who are right now moving away from the pain management aspect and moving into the, hey, you know what, we aiming to cure that pain, and to embrace that pain. And I must say, when they mentioned that, my whole body resonated, and I was like, I'm kind of done tiptoeing, with people and tell them, and maybe because I've been working, with hospitals and clinics, and where I understand the liability issues and blah blah blah. But for me, there's no false hope. Hope is hope, and so when I've seen radical remissions, and I've seen people, we came out of their doctors, and their doctors are like, oh, I don't understand, how come you right now you're recovering so fast right now. And it's because they were engaged in practices, somatic practices, mind body practices, breath work, and so on and so forth, so such powerful practices that were empowering and giving their body, their nervous system, the space they needed, right, to heal and to process things and to complete things and to come into that place of safety and trust.
Right.
So inviting everybody here for comments, questions, reflections. Anything, any final words, Amari, that you'd like to mention before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone that was able to join in and everyone who's able to tune in. We will definitely repost this video, and I look forward to doing these every Tuesday morning with you, Pierre. This has been an amazing conversation, and it's just nice to be able to get these ideas out into the world, because a lot of times, yes, we do live in a society that makes us feel like we always have to be positive and that we have to ignore negative emotions. But being able to identify and to also feel every emotion of the whole rainbow is what is going to help us heal. So if anyone is out there that has felt pain, that is watching this, you're doing an amazing job already. Let go of those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and really let yourself begin to feel again.
Let's take one more nice, slow, deep breath all together. Thank you very much, Amari. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Keep it up. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Peace.